Hello and welcome back. One time I was not filming nothing, and now I want to get back to you with this small printer. I built it something like several months ago. It's pretty, it's not a pretty, it's fully stock Voron 0.2, and I really like this machine. The only one thing that are basically not stock on this printer is this one camera that I was added. And this camera is actually a piece of crap. So the problem there is when it's getting warm inside, and it's usually getting warm if you're printing PTG or ABS, and this printer is actually basically made for these materials. Mostly I'm printing PTG with it. This camera shows almost nothing, so even with this amount of the light that I have in the room at the moment, I will see almost a black screen. So it's some Chinese cheap stuff and it's not working. On my another printer I'm using the Logitech camera, like this one. Also the press actually almost the same for this Chinese stuff and Logitech. The only one difference, this Logitech is pretty big. And I like the placing of the camera over here where I have it at the moment, and I want to stay with it. So I want to place this big Logitech over here in this Voron, that it still fits and that I still see everything that I want to see. It will be one thing that I will show in this video, and another one, I want to place some small diodes to the mini stealth burner on the bottom, and probably one over here. We'll see how it all goes. Let's go with the camera first. The first thing I will start is I will disassemble this camera. It should be pretty easy, so this one should just go away. Yeah, like this. Now several screws. So as you can see, it's not as big as it's outside. So this microphone will basically not need at all. So maybe I will even remove it from the camera itself. Let's remove the board. So this board connected with just this cable and one cable soldered. So these are the ground. So I'll desolder the ground and then board is free. And the first task will be to basically build a bracket for this board that it stays in place and fits into the printer, but I think that it should work out. Now this camera body is out of the plate and out of the camera, actually. Camera board, and camera board I will make some bracket for it. So here's the two mounting points where it's originally mounted. So this was screw and this was screw. And I think I will use the same approach. So compared to the board I have, this one is a little bit wider, but not as high. So should work out. Maybe I will even do some closing for this board to protect it a little bit, but we'll see. Maybe it will be just open and mounted with these two screws. The one more thing I need to do is also to free up this cable. I think it should be pretty easy, so I believe it's just holding with this one bracket. Let's see. Yeah, definitely it is. Okay, it is goes. It is very interesting how they did it. So mainly the USB is connected with this plug, and ground is just soldered to the board itself. Very interesting. Okay, I think I will not do nothing more with this cable, so even this rubber thing, let's stay. The mounting of the camera first. Getting back to the printer itself, I will start with disassembling it a little bit. So this door needs to go. Also this top part. Now I need to remove the both parts from the back. So I made this bracket for this camera some time ago, and I'm actually very like the positioning on the back side of the printer. So I'm able to see everything, and it doesn't matter if I have the top of the printer attached or not. And it's almost in the middle of the printing itself, so the print bed. So I'm really like where it's located. So now I want to locate this one exactly in the same position. So also, and maybe I will even reuse these two parts of the bracket, and will redo only this thing where actually the camera connected. Maybe somehow I will also able to do it one piece, because at the moment it's two pieces, and I could save a little bit of the space if I will do that as a one piece. Yeah, in this printer you're thinking all the time about the saving of the space, because it's all the time not enough. Okay, removing first. It's pretty similar cable here. No, it's not. In this cable, the ground also the part of connector, so it's in the connector itself, and on this cable, as you saw, there is 4 pins and ground separately. Okay, so I of course has the model of this one thingy, so I could get start from this, because this one I was made. I'll share it also, so maybe someone would like to or have the good camera in this size, then it's possible to use. But for this camera, it's definitely something a little bit different. Here is the bracket I have at the moment. It's exactly this one with the camera. And the only one thing looks like which I will change is this one body. So I will hide it for now. And this one piece will stay as is. So it's rotated over here. As you can see, it's possible to rotate the camera and tune it quite good with this bracket. So these two pieces will stay, and the only one will change. I will do some of the measurements and compare this camera to this one, and then we'll just quickly draw this bracket and print it. So okay, I'm almost done, and these are exactly what I will print and how it will look like. We'll see, of course, if it works. It's also the question, because here I'm not really like how it fits, but let it be the first prototype, and we'll see. If it will work, I'll probably combine these two pieces together to print it somehow as one part, to remove at least so first of all, then I will be able to remove some width here, because it's 8 millimeters. It's like this one, but at the same moment maybe then it will not fit. So okay, nevertheless, I'll start with printing this thingy, and then we'll try to mount it. And if it mounts, then I will print it out of ABS, because this one was PETG. The old one, this one part was PETG, and also it's not in the color of the printer, it was also the mock for the camera mount. And this one, either it will be yellow, like other printer parts, or maybe it will be black, or maybe part, we'll see. Every printer should be able to print itself, so let's go. So it is done. It's exactly for what I am like this printer, so entire piece is just a little bit more than 5 minutes and it's ready. I was a little bit too fast to remove it, so I have this thing, so it was not I forgot how to print PLA. But for the mock, it's okay. So I will test with this one. But maybe not. So, over here I was used to heated inserts, but do they really need there? So, I would say that I have enough of the plastic just to mount the screws into the plastic to screw them in, like the board was over here. There is no strength required. So I think I will redo this mock with the smaller holes just for the screws instead of the heated inserts. After a few more attempts, this one is what I ended up with. So this one, it was the first one and it's not working. Then this one, it's almost good, but I lowered down this one screw mounting point to 0.5 millimeter. Also I printed them a little bit stronger, as you can see, and yeah, so this one should work. I hope so. Also I changed dimensions of this one thingy. So it's a little bit smaller at the moment, and it's all using 6 millimeter screws. So one heated insert and 3 6 millimeter screws. So I have something like this at the moment, and especially with the same position of the camera, so it's just a little bit wider in this direction. I hope it should work. Let's have a look how it's on the printer itself. So what I could tell now, these are the position where I think the camera will stay. It's enough of place for the tool head. Yeah, its clearance is pretty small, but still, everything is like this in this printer. The printer itself is very small. I'm not hitting it too much with the bottom tube. And I think I will see everything that I should see with this camera. So I will solder the wire. I'll remove this, solder the wire, and start printing the normal brackets from, I think it will be black color plastic. Let it be black. Now when I have cable attached, I will mount the camera to the printer, I will tune it, and yeah, the one thing will be done. Okay, then I would say that this one fits. So the cables again lying somewhere around, so not disturbing me too much. Maybe I need to make this part of the tube a little bit shorter. So most important thing to test all this stuff and to test how the camera is actually works and how I could see the print bed. And this is what I see at the end. I could see entire bed. Camera looks pretty good on the printer, like it was there always. I will just need to reprint these parts in black and then it will be done. And with this view, that means that I will see everything that printer is printing, and if the toolhead goes back, of course I can't see nothing. But that's why I have a parking spot over here when the print ends, so I could see what was actually done. Let's move to the lights on the toolhead. So now with LEDs. As you can see, I was printed already in black and replaced it. For LEDs I need 3 wires, plus 5 volts data and grounding. But here on this back plate I have only one connector that was supposed to be X end stop. I'm use sensorless homing. And this connector is free, and actually this 2 wires is not connected to anything else, so the ground there is separate, and so that's basically 2 wires. And as a grounding I could take one of the fans, so either this one, either this one. And then it should work with this board I have. It's just the Voron 0 umbilical board with this wire, so that's not the CAN board. If I would have the CAN board, then probably here will be just everything much more easier. But I have this one, so, and as I can see, it should work out. Let's give it a try. As most of the wiring will be with the tool head, I will remove it. It should be not so difficult to do, especially I remember how to do that. So these 2 screws, and then I have several screws on the back. And here we are. Here is the tool head, and these are the two connectors for two wires that I was mentioned. And I think I will use the ground from this one fan. I have enough of the cable over here, so if something will go wrong with the clamping of this connector, then I still have a little bit of the wire. Or maybe even, no, I will make it here, directly in the connector. Maybe it's not as nice idea as it could be, but with this umbilical board I don't have any other option. I was lucky that I have two not used wires to the motherboard. It's already a win, because otherwise the LEDs will not gonna happen. Here's the LEDs itself. So it's a small PCB LEDs. I have 4 of them. Here will be used only 2. One over here and one over here. And wiring, I'm already see how difficult it will be. And actually this PCBs should be connected like one and then second one out of it. So yeah, that's probably the one more wire that will go. So one wiring will go from the connectors over here, over this wire, and to this LED, and then get back up over here and go down to this LED. So something like this. I don't see any other option. Yeah, of course I could have wire over here, but it's not seems to be good. Okay, so yeah, there is some wiring, and possibly it will be even enough of the wires. We'll see. I was looking on this toolhead and on this tiny LED and on this small path for the cables, and I'm thinking, how could I manage to put this cable that was in the together with the LEDs over there? Yeah, I could put it 1 time, but I need to put it 4 times there. So I need 4 cables on one side and 3 cables on another side. Doesn't matter which one. And I was able to find this one cable that are basically 2 times smaller than this one. And it should definitely work out. So I could easily put it over the path where it's supposed to be. So from over here, then there, and to the LED position. Then solder the LEDs, both of them, on the both sides. And then manage somehow to connect it to this board. As I was mentioned, there will be 2 of these pins, and I will need to find a way to connect to the ground. So what I will do, I will add 1 more connector somewhere, probably behind the motor. I will solder 1 cable to the ground, to the fan ground, and then connect it there to the ground that goes to the LEDs, and there will be one more connector for the LEDs, so something like this. Okay, anyway, I will cut these zip ties and remove this black plate, and then we'll solder the wire, these small LEDs, or maybe vice versa, doesn't matter. So I decided to connect the wires to the board right now to have them already in place, and then I will be able to do all the connections over here behind the board that I have these wires connected to these wires. Now only the ground. So here I have the one connector. This side, yeah, this side. Okay. Here's the small piece of cable to which actually this cable will be connected, and one more from here. Yeah, maybe it looks ugly and definitely not disassemblable. Disassemblable. Okay. It will be not possible to disassemble it without the soldering these tiny LEDs. So if I will want to replace this plastic piece, or if it will go broken, I will definitely have a problem. So hopefully this plastic is still good enough. Okay, so yeah, I don't like it. I'll probably catch it also in the thermal tube, that it's somehow holding together, because otherwise it will just move out somehow. But I couldn't go without this connector, because there is no chance that because otherwise I will need to desolder also this wire from the board. It's soldered behind. So now I am finally done with the tool head. These two small LEDs are mounted. Hopefully the wiring is okay. I'm used two wires that I had, two pins that I had on this board. And now the wiring of the printer itself, so to the main board. I will mount this tool head now and wire the leftovers. But there is only one cable basically. And hopefully everything will work out. We'll see. Okay, it's the time for the test. I want to switch it on and take a look if nothing will burn out. Okay, seems to be okay. Yeah. Now the wiring on the bottom of the printer, you don't see nothing. Yeah, so over here I need to make cable from this port on the motherboard over here. So another connection. I have this piece of wire with some strange connector on one side and with the normal one on the other side. And according to the manual, this port is marked as RGB. So let's use it. The bottom pin is the 5 volts, middle one is the data, and on the top is ground. Ground we don't need. We need the 5 volts and the data. I will use out of this the yellow wire and red wire. So red should be on the bottom and yellow in the middle. So none of the wires fits to what I actually have on this connector. Okay, let's unpin it and pin it back. Now I made this cable, so I just need to somehow better place it, because it's not... I don't like when the cables are everywhere, so I'm trying to have at least some of the cable management inside this machine. And it's not as easy as you can think, because there is too much of the cables on very small amount of the place. And now the test one more time. Hopefully again will nothing burn. Seems like everything is okay at this moment. And now I need to configure the LEDs itself. Now I'm done with the LEDs, so that's leftovers only to assemble the printer back. I like how they go, so I could change the color easily, and actually one of the main points was that I could better see on the camera what is actually there. And now, as you can see, I see everything on the camera with the LEDs, and it should be better. Now that will be it with this video. Hopefully you enjoy watching. All the parts for the camera mount I will set links in description, so you could download and make it yourself. And see you next time. Take care.